What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tarek Ali. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing something that people have been asking me for years, like literally a year and a half ago or 2 years, like 2016. Well, yeah, 2 years. 2 years ago when I graduated high school. Oh my gosh, that was 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago when I graduated high school, I made a video about how to get scholarships and how I got like literally hypothetically over $1 million in scholarships because of all of the schools I got into. I got into over like 15 schools, 20. I didn't even like really count. I literally just applied to every school possible, pretty much, honestly, to be real. And I also applied to a lot of scholarships, and I got a lot of scholarships, and now I have a full ride at Georgia State University. A lot of people asked me from that video, which I am going to link up here, so you can press the I right now if you want to watch it. In that video, I just pretty much told you how to get scholarships, what I did to get the scholarships, and how I raised so much money for school and how you could do it too. But in the process, a lot of people were asking me if I could send them my essays. I didn't want to like ruin my chances of me applying to a program and like messing it up, because for plagiarism purposes, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like that was safe. I didn't feel like that was smart. And I just know that there are some lazy people out here in the world, and they will literally just copy and paste and change the name. I know that for a fact. So I thought that it would be better if I just said it out loud, as if that's any different. I don't know, I just saw a lot of other people doing it online, and I feel like I can help a lot of people. The only difference is like, my essays are not even something that you can steal. Like in this video, I literally might get emotional because unfortunately enough, fortunate to me, but unfortunately when you hear it, I've been through a lot in my life. So my essays are not even something that you can steal really, because like when people read my essays, they usually think I'm making it up because it's so much. I'm here to share so that people can learn. And that's exactly why I made this scholarship video, and that's exactly why I'm making this video now, because it is the summer, and this is the time that you need to start looking for scholarships and figuring out and making the list of the scholarships that you want to apply to. Like literally, please go watch that video. Please press this I and go watch the scholarship video and the video on how to write an essay. This is summertime to all the juniors, the seniors, and this is not just for high school students, this is for college students also. Like, you have to start applying for your graduate degree soon, like, you know, master's, PhD, med school, anything. These tips that I give on how to write an essay, I'm not a professional, I'm not a teacher, okay? So look, I know people are gonna come in the comments like, who are you? This is just someone with experience who has gotten like literally so many scholarships into over like 15, 20 schools, and been in internships programs for the last 5 years. I've worked at NIH for 3 years, and now I'm at Columbia University, so I'm doing something right. So before we start, please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe this video. Just press the like button, press the subscribe button right after, and please make sure you put on the bell. And please make sure that you comment on this video to tell me if it was helpful, if it wasn't helpful, what you thought about it. I'm actually gonna read 2 essays, and they're gonna be pretty similar, but so the first one's gonna be my Common App application essay, because I know that most of the people that are gonna be watching this are gonna be high school students applying to undergrad. And I know everyone across the country uses, you know, Common App. And, you know, we don't all apply to the same scholarship, but mostly everyone uses Common App. So this was a question in 2016 when I applied to college. I don't know if it'll still be a question, but so the question is, discuss an accomplishment or event, formal or informal, that marked your transition from childhood to adulthood within your culture, community, or family. Okay, disclaimer, let me just tell you that I wrote this when I was in 12th grade, and I don't know, like I'm just way smarter than I was. This is pretty personal, but I'm doing this to help y'all, so yeah, I will do it. I'm just gonna start off with my introductory paragraph. Childhood is a period in one's life where you are afforded the luxury of not having to worry about what it means to have adult responsibilities. You are granted the opportunity not to have to make decisions or judgments, regardless of whether those decisions and judgments are good, bad, or justifiable. Nor are you given, nor are you given the responsibilities to go in the wrong direction, because you are going in the direction in which your parents are headed. It is a period of time where you are allowed to be innocent by having fun, laughing a lot, creating happy memories, and letting your parents do all the hard work. But unfortunately, not everyone's childhood is guaranteed to be enjoyable or carefree. So that was my introductory paragraph. As you can see, in the question it asks you from childhood to adulthood. And it can be informal or formal. So they're pretty much trying to give you like some room to be creative, but also stick to like the prompt of the question. If you watch my essay tip video, you already know I like to start broad, like an upside down triangle. I start broad and I narrow it down to the point. So you see, I started off really broad in the beginning with childhood is a period of one's life where you're afforded the luxury of not having to worry about what it means to have adult responsibilities. That's a very, very general statement, broad opinion. So, you know, and then I just narrowed it down to me, like why I'm saying that and how that relates to me. So the second paragraph, my childhood ended in the middle of December 2010 when I had to become an adult at the age of 12. My house didn't have any heat. My brother and I had our own separate beds but slept together to keep warm. My dad didn't have a job and no savings, but he pretended it wasn't a problem. When I stared, I'm not getting emotional, I'm not. When I stared at a candy bar in the store, he would spend his last $2 to get it for me. For a while, whenever he asked me what I wanted, I would tell him and he would get it. But soon, I started to notice the effects it had on the ways we lived, and I felt responsible for it. This is when I realized I couldn't be a child anymore. I had to help our family to save money. I stopped asking for things I wanted and needed. When we went out to stores, I would say I was going to the bathroom to glance at the things I liked on my way without them knowing. I knew I couldn't have it, but it was satisfying enough for me just to see it. As the years went by, I stopped expecting my parents to do or get anything for me. I felt completely responsible for anything I wanted or needed. Anything they did for me, I thought of as a good deed, not their responsibility as a parent. So that was the second paragraph. I'm just going to keep going into the third. I considered myself an adult because I had to worry about everything. I tried my best not to make bad decisions or go in the wrong direction. The periods of time where I was supposed to be having the most fun, laughing the most, and letting my parents do all the work, I was trying to be the best child and student. The period of time where I was supposed to be having the most fun, laughing the most, and letting my parents do all the work, I was trying to be the best child, citizen, and student. I started studying strong figures like Elizabeth Garrett Anderson, Maya Angelou, and Martin Luther King Jr. to see what kind of person I needed to become so that I could become strong, hardworking, passionate, ambitious, and confident role model to my younger sister. I participated in summer internships at Howard University and at the National Institutes of Health to prepare myself for my career. I began going above and beyond the expectations of my teachers and parents and have never looked back. Okay, so just reflecting on that before I move on, you see how I did a lot of name dropping here, and I highlighted how not only was I trying to become a better student, I mentioned I was becoming a better student from what I went through. That's the one thing that they want in these essays. It's like, if you did go through something, don't make it just a sob story. How did this sob story make you a better student? Okay? And a better person sometimes, but keep it more about a student because you're going to school. You're getting a scholarship. They do want to know you as a person, but how did this change you in the classroom? How did this change about your mindset and your mind about you going about school, and what does school mean to you because of what you've been through? That's what they want to hear. They don't want to just hear that, you know, you didn't eat and stuff like that. You were freezing at night. You know, I was freezing, I was tired, and my mom did this, and I had depression, and I want to go to your school, accept me. It's like, you have to put in there, like, how did that change you as a person? How are you better? How did that make you extravagant? Okay, that's what they want to hear. So down here you see I name dropped like Elizabeth Anderson, Maya Angelou, Martin Luther King Jr. and everything. And I said how I studied these figures to see how I could become a better person, strong, hardworking, and a student. Like, not only did you identify leaders to you who are big people, but you wrote down and you actually took the time to see what are the qualities that they have that I need to have. That alone just shows them that, you know, you take the time to look at role models and people who are your mentors or your professors or your teachers, and how what they're doing or what they're telling you and how you can use that to become a better student or person. I also mentioned how my little sister, you know, is like someone I was trying to be a role model for. So me, like, looking at my role models and trying to, you know, write down what I admire about them to make me a better person so that I can influence someone else. So not only am I looking at these leaders that I admire and writing down the things that I admire about them and how they got to where they are, I'm going to put that to myself to make me a better person so that I can then inspire another generation, another person. And for me in this essay, my little sister, which I mentioned in that paragraph. I'm not saying for you to do that exactly, but If you do, you do, but I'm just saying it's just admirable. And then going into the last paragraph, had it not been for those freezing winter nights of listening to my stomach rumble and the one of my little sister, I would not be the person I am now. I refuse to follow the path I have witnessed of my parents and my older siblings who have failed in being the role model I deserve. I had to be her adult so that she could keep her childhood. I want her to see that 4.1 GPA on my report card and that president next to my name in various student organization programs. That's like bragging without bragging. So she would know what you go through does not reflect who you are or who you become. I may have lost my childhood at an early age, but there is way more I will gain in the long run and hopefully end this cycle for my family. So that is my entire Common App application. I don't think I was rejected by any schools. To give you just an idea of my like GPA and everything, I had a 4.1, like not cum. My cum was like a 3.6. So that's what I did. I had a lot of extracurriculars. Like if you want to know everything I did, please just watch this video up here. I don't want to say everything in this video because that just would take a lot of time. But I'm just gonna go ahead into the next essay. So I don't want to really say where this scholarship was for, but let's just say it was for African American students. But even though it is for African American students, I feel like anybody from any background can take a lot from this essay. This one's a little longer, and I'm not going to stop as much because I'm just going to go straight through. And just the style in the writing and what I chose to say in my essay. What is the significance of leadership in the African American community? How do you rate your leadership qualities, and how do they impact your college search? Okay, so I'm just gonna read it. I come from an African American family of many struggles. Struggles which were a result of continuous bad decisions and misjudgment by my initial leaders, my parents. Struggles which included nights without food, heat or running water, drug dealing, inability to pay rent, and a lack of love. Deprived of the direction our parents were presumed to provide, my siblings believed that it couldn't get any better than the way we were already living. Just like any other child in poverty or in wealth, I looked up to my older siblings. They were my leaders. They were the ones I listened to when not governed by my parents. But soon they all fell victim to the streets and the things that came with it. 2 of my siblings are incarcerated, while the others are just living day by day, not doing anything different than the actions of my parents or what they were doing a couple years ago. I was deprived of all the guidance a child needed. I had no one to look up to or to ask for help. I had no one to lead me. Watching my parents and siblings fail one after another was like standing in the middle of the street as you watch every light turn off. Each light was supposed to guide me and show me the way I was supposed to go until they all went out and I was stranded. The feeling made me feel so alone and depressed, and sometimes I thought I would be the next bulb to blow out. Unfortunately, a feeling that was not unique to me, but is pretty common throughout the African American community. The pain and depression were feelings I never wanted my little sisters to experience. I wanted to be everything to her that I did not have or receive from my older siblings. It was my job to lead her, and in a new direction different than the one of my family. I wanted to be there every time she had trouble with her schoolwork or when she had a problem with a friend and didn't know how to handle it. I planned to lead her to a place where she would not have to worry if she can eat 3 times a day or not. The one thing I want to teach her the most is, if you want something, you have to work for it. The role I took as her leader has influenced me tremendously and is one of the main reasons I continue to work so hard. Over the years, I have become an overachiever just to show her the many things she can accomplish also. Whether it's the persistent 4.0 GPAs I get on my report card, the many clubs and organizations in which I have been elected president, or the internships I have participated in to prepare for my future. I walk with my head held high, full of confidence to show her you are not what other people think of you, but you are what you decide. I don't want her to think she has to be perfect or exactly like me. I just want her to know that she is capable. I want her to see that it is not going to be easy to prosper, but it is indeed possible no matter what you or your parents have gone through. This is an attitude and type of leadership the African American community needs. Yeah, so that was my second essay. This has taken a lot out of me. I think I'm done. I did 2 essays. I'm usually a bubbly person, but after reading those, I'm not so bubbly. But yes, I hope these essays were helpful to you guys. They were extremely personal. You know, I really don't mind. I am a public figure, and I'm going to tell you guys one day, like, you know, my story. Like, it's just so much that happened and it's scattered. But I'm happy that I could share that with you. There's a lot of things in these essays that I feel like were a little bit insensitive. And at the time that I did write these essays, I was a 12th grade, 18-year-old, and I was hurt. You know, I was busting my butt off to go to college. I didn't have any money. Both of my parents don't have any money to give me for college, and I just wanted to make sure that I could go to college. I applied to so many schools because I just wanted to see which school would give me the most money, and that's all that really mattered. I wanted to go to school for free, and I wanted to go to school without having to pay anything, like absolutely nothing. And if that meant taking out a loan, that meant taking out a loan, but I didn't want to have to pay anything because I didn't have any money to pay. My parents didn't have any money. So, you know, I think at this time I was just a little upset, and just reflecting on my life and why I was the student I was and why I sat down for hours at a time to write these essays and to do the scholarships and the applications was because of my past, which is this, you know? Me feeling like personally I was deprived of leadership, and you know, I was missing love. So I really want you guys, when you write your essays, I want you to dig deep. And you know, not everybody's story is like mine, okay? Not everybody is, you know, going to sleep sometimes without food. Some people, you know, have a middle class, great family. There's always something that you have been through, or, you know, it doesn't have to be sad. It can be a happy event that just really influenced you. I really just want you to sit down and like dig deep and write down these things that have changed you as a person. And not only for these essays and for scholarships, but for you as a person. It's important that you know why you are the person you are now and what in the past made you that person. Because there are some things that are nature and there are some things that are nurtured. Like, you know, there are some things that are in your genetics and there are some things that the community did. And I think it's important to recognize those things that the community did so that you can separate it from your genetics. But I'm done preaching. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and let me know anything else you guys want to watch or hear, any essays or like advice. I'm like super tired. But thank you guys for watching. I love my tabies, and thank you everybody for watching. I said thanks for watching a couple times.